What is up, everybody? It is your boy Tay, and we want to welcome you to No Cap, the podcast. I hope everyone is doing well. Have to have my sister here, Pooh. You're muted, Pooh. Can't hear you.
What's good? What's good? What's good? I didn't even know I was muted.
Shame, shame. So today, I know y'all been seeing me post about it. I've been getting a lot of whatchamacallit, a lot of feedback on the thumbnail because your boy thumbnail game is getting up there.
Boom.
um, but this young lady I found on TikTok and I saw her just live playing a video game and I wanted to get to know what she was about because with this podcast here, we give people a platform to talk. And it doesn't matter if you have 6,000 viewers or six viewers. We wanted to let you know that we gonna get you on the show. We gonna talk. We gonna have a little conversation, and that's it. So I want to bring our guest in and just introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Mieko Uchiha. Um, Happy to be here.
All right, welcome. We are happy to have you here. So, what would you say your niche is when it comes to TikTok?
When it comes to TikTok, I would say I'm really good at engaging others. I know how to make the conversation fun. It is a conversation, so I don't just get on live and go off about whatever. I just kind of keep it open to other subjects. So if somebody wants to talk about what they're interested in, I'm willing to actually research it while I'm just on live on my computer. I might look up something if I'm like, oh, I don't know what show that is. Let me look it up. And we just talk about anything regarding anime, video games, or just pop culture in general. I'm a 90s kid, so I do like pretty much anything when it comes to cartoons or just old shows that we used to watch back in the day.
Okay, old shows. Now, a 90s kid, what would you say is one of your favorite cartoons from back in the day?
I would say something like Samurai Jack. That
Ooh.
is just a classic. It's good. I finally got to a point in my life where I was able to finish it because, back then we couldn't just stream and watch and catch up. So I would miss a few episodes here and there. But when I finally completed the entire series, I was like, this show was amazing. Like, there's no other show really like it. In the fact that the voice actor was black and he's done a lot of, I can't remember his name at this time, but he's done a lot of cartoons that we love to this day. So I find that it had a big impact on a lot of us at that time.
Okay. Ooh, what about you? What was one of your favorite cartoons from back in the day?
I can't just name one because I love watch TV, but I would say the Proud Family or
Ooh,
like Hey Arnold.
Good one.
yep.
Don't get me started because I could keep going on the list, but I would say like Proud Family. Like every day after school, I had to watch that.
Absolutely.
Um, for me, I would say what was it called? Darkwing Duck. Like that was one of my favorites. Also Gargoyles.
Oh
Oh,
my
that was a
god!
good one. That was a
Yeah,
good one.
that
Yeah,
was
I woke up in the middle of the night and every night that show was on. Like it was like clockwork. I'm like, God, same time.
I feel like that show was ahead of its time, to be
It was.
honest. I
Yeah.
really feel like it was ahead of its time. But back to the topic at hand, I know that you do cosplay. So How long have you been cosplaying for?
I've been cosplaying since about 2018. Um, I went to my very first con, and it was called GAM. It's like an acronym for Games, Arcade, Anime, and Music. I think that's the word it goes in. But it had a variety of activities, and I dressed up. I didn't really think it was going to be too much because it was my first time. But when I went, I just had this amazing home like feeling. I felt safe in that environment. I felt like everyone was enjoying being a different character, embodying the character at times. And I just felt like I wanted to continue to explore that. Not only just doing the dress up or, embodying a character, I wanted to do as many as possible. So I've gone from cartoons to celebrities to video game characters. So I do feel like it's very fulfilling to do cosplay.
Okay, okay. So, what kind of cosplayer do you feel like would you consider yourself?
Mm, I guess I it's kind of hard to really put myself in a box because I do so many different kinds, including gender fluid characters. Like I've done male and female. I've done kid and young adults or older. So I feel like I could really do multiple. I don't really feel like I pertain to a particular cosplayer, and I'm not too introverted. Like I feel like I'm very open to talking to other people. I'll take a picture with you. I'll, give you my background, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like I'm just that um, social cosplayer, I guess, if we want to label it.
Okay. Pooh, what about you? Would you ever want to get into cosplaying?
No, that looks like a lot of work. Like I gotta, because if I do cosplay, I gotta go all in. Like I'm gonna makeup, hair. Like I gotta look exactly like that player, like or anime character or whoever I'm dressing up as. It's a lot. I never got into it, but I like to look at people in their different costumes and stuff. So I'm not gonna doubt anyone that does it. It's just I don't know. Somebody have to do me up real good for me to like it. I can't just say like I like it.
Okay,
I would say
okay.
it's definitely hard if you're doing like a DIY, like you're doing every little piece by yourself or you're making it from scratch. Some people are sewing their costumes. I don't
Yeah,
have the patience for that.
I've seen that. That's why I was like, okay, I get it, but I was like, you took what? How long? Some people take weeks. Some people take 8 hours. I can't even sit in a car that long, like to even
Right.
do that. But to
Hmm.
each his own. To each his own.
I mean, for me, uh, I've always liked the community, like just seeing so many creative people like with these extravagant costumes and like I've always wanted to do it, but I never knew like what to do, to be honest.
Makes
And
sense.
it just seems like a lot of work. So I commend people that do cosplay. I really do, because I know it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, especially if you make your own original outfit.
So I have
Right.
a question though. So when you do like your cosplay, do you do like the short clips like on TikTok, or do you do like you go all in with your characters and who you dressing as?
I do the short clips, pretty much,
Gotcha.
and I've known TikTok to kind of go. Everything has to kind of go by the trends for even to get seen a lot
Yeah,
of times. So that's what I would do. I feel like I would do more with it if I actually had the right type of audience that actually appreciates it to begin with, or if
yeah,
they're saying something in the comments, I'll do like a response in the from the comments because I really love engagement. I like to interact with the people who actually appreciate it. So
facts.
yeah, I do the short clips to kind of get people's attention, and then if they want to engage, then I'll engage or respond with the cosplay, if possible, depending on what they're saying. So if they're saying, "Oh, he looks like Voldemort" or something like that, or he's Voldemort's cousin, and I might do a completely different video just based on what they just said. So just to make it more entertaining for them.
Also, if somebody say like you look like Mario, you'll do like Mario. Like you'll dress up like Mario.
I mean, it just depends on what they say and how they say it. Because if it's more like a I'm interested kind of way, it's not like a negative comment. Then yeah,
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna push into that because I've had people tag me in a video of someone cosplaying as something, and then like, can you duet this? And I'm like, yeah, and I go in and I put on an outfit and duet the video. So I don't mind, you know,
same.
molding it into what the fans want to see. So that's what I want. I want engagement.
That's like me. I have to like every comment. I try to reply to everybody. But if it's some ridiculous, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just pass.
Okay, all right. So going on comments. So what are some cosplay pet peeves you may have?
Probably I wouldn't say I have too many pet peeves. I don't usually engage with a lot of negative people, fortunately. But I would say the ones that are kind of like nitpicky, like, oh, you don't have this, or, they try to make it to where you have to perfect the cosplay. I am not a perfectionist when it comes to cosplay because I understand there are so many ways that you can still establish the character and people can still see it and know that's the character. So I don't feel like I have to be to the T on every little piece of the cosplay. So I would say nitpickers or the ones that kind of make it about, skin tone or about the gender. They're like, well, there's no female so and so, there's no da 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 da. And they try to make it into something that it's not. Like if I like the character, then I'm just gonna do the character, not based upon what's factual about the character.
So you do get a lot of negative feedback when it's like, oh, you don't have this. See, this is why I can't do that because I could be. I can't. I can't because y'all know, like, if I'm dressing up as, like, my favorite anime is Hunter x Hunter. If I'm not to the T, and then like the outfit or whatever, like, what does it matter?
It doesn't. You
Okay,
just have to not
okay.
care. Like that's literally what I do. I just don't care. I do it because I actually enjoy it. This is my hobby. This is my lifestyle. Like I'll tell anyone, I'm like, I don't really care. Sometimes I'll just dress up and go grocery shopping. I don't care about what nobody think
Right,
about what I'm wearing because I'm wearing it for my enjoyment.
right.
All right, all right. So my next question is when it comes to posting your cosplay content, um, do you prefer your pictures to be unphotoshopped or photoshopped to like give it that little zing?
A lot of times I will use like a filter, but as far as Photoshop or deep editing, I don't do that. It's just more so like if it includes like glitter or something to make the post a little bit more that pops with the post, and that's what I'll use. It's just more like an overlay, or like an eye filter, because sometimes the characters will have special eyes, and I will not get those contacts off the internet. I will definitely be safe with it and just use a filter that will help me actually embody the character a little bit better.
Okay, okay. Um, yeah, you said something about the contacts, and I saw them, and they look really, really, really cool. Like they
Yes,
do, but
it's
I
tempting.
don't know. It's very tempting because it like just adds the added je ne sais quoi to
Right.
your
Which I
cosplay.
just
It's
can't. I can't put something on my eye and feel okay after that. Like I just feel gross if I just touch my eye or put anything on my eye. So I can't do it.
okay. All right. So my next question is, what does cosplay mean to you?
um, to me, it's like art appreciation, but using yourself as the canvas. It's pretty much what I feel like it is because it's just like when you go to a sports event and you paint your face your team's colors, or you're at a game, like you're basically appreciating the actual the person who created the character or created the show, or the design of the character itself, or the personality of the character itself. That's just what I feel cosplay really is embodying something that you like or enjoy or feel like others would like and enjoy. Because some people don't necessarily do it because they enjoy it, but because other people enjoy it and they like the attention from it. So it just really depends on the individual that's cosplaying. But for me personally, I feel like it's just appreciating the art of the character.
Okay.
I
All
have a
right.
question. So, for someone who doesn't know what cosplay is, I'm asking for a friend. What is cosplay? Like, what do you? I because I don't know anything about it. I just know that people dress up like their favorite anime characters and whatnot. But like, I don't want to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. I see it, but like, really, really, what is it? Like, what they get out of it and stuff.
Well, really, cosplay is costume play. That's basically what it's just two words meshed together. You're embodying a character. It doesn't necessarily have to be anime. It could be anything. You could dress up as a celebrity or dress up as another person. You are pretending or playing as that person or as that character.
Okay, okay.
Um, and what it means for other people is just a matter of a lot of us. And I'm just speaking on a majority. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of us feel safe being another character. A lot of us feel um, like we can bring out another part of ourselves that we couldn't bring out with just being ourselves. So
That
I
makes
feel like being able to have that as like almost like a security blanket allows us to have a social aspect of ourselves we weren't able to see before.
Oh, okay, okay. That's
Okay.
good. Good.
I like that. I like that. So
Because
I'm
it's just
going to.
like with sing. I'm sorry. It's just like with singers when they have that alter ego. That's kind of what it is like for us when we get into that character.
Oh,
Okay. So I'm going to expose myself a little bit.
like cosplay?
Well, I do like cosplay. I do. I've never done it, but I do. Um, but when it comes to anime, one of the main animes out there I've never seen until 2 days ago, Naruto. Never, never seen it until 2 days ago. Yeah, go ahead. Say what you want.
I, I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to say anything because I haven't even started watching it yet. Like, there's so many animes out there. I'm like, I don't even know where to start or anything. I just know since I watched it, Hunter X Hunter, that's like my favorite one. Well, I do like Seven Deadly Sins. Like, that's my shit.
That's a solid one.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
glued to it. It's between those.
What would you say is your favorite anime?
My favorite anime will always be my first love, which is Inuyasha. I grew up on that. I watched it when I was 11 years old, and to this day, just hearing the theme song automatically just triggers that happy feeling. So
Hmm.
I will definitely say Inuyasha was a favorite. I don't like the spinoff. For those who actually know about the spinoff, no, I don't recommend it. But definitely watch Inuyasha, and I do prefer dub, not sub Inuyasha, because I feel like the characters sound a bit more like nails on a chalkboard in sub. So I don't necessarily favor dub or sub in general. It's just more so depending on the voice actor. And I don't like the sub voice actors for Inuyasha, unfortunately.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I watch a lot of
Okay.
dub.
Yeah, like currently I'm watching Naruto in dub, so
Yeah,
it
I
it's
prefer it sub. I prefer it
yeah,
sub. Naruto's voice in dub is, I can't do
yeah.
it.
So I have a question for everybody, including myself. If money was no object, who would you cosplay and why?
Who would I cosplay? Hmm.
I
Again,
would probably
I
say,
don't really know. Like
I
who?
think Sora. Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Like I would have the best Keyblade possible. I'll probably do still. I'll probably end up doing Nightmare Sora just because I had to do like a DIY Nightmare Sora when he was in the Nightmare Before Christmas land. Um,
Hmm.
just because I remember when I wanted to get that outfit so bad and it was so expensive and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it myself. So that's what I did. But yeah, I would get that if money was not an object.
I think I would choose Izuku Midoriya because I think like his outfit as a female, like if they change it up like feminine way, like I think that should be raw as hell. Like if I had to think,
Agreed.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, most
We
definitely.
do have the kimono set, which is affordable. So if you want to do more of the female type, that would be the only option that I've seen so far. Hopefully, more creators come out and they have more availability and affordability. I'll say that for female versions of those costumes. But if you look up a male character and put kimono next to it, 9 times out of 10 you're going to find it on Amazon.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Um, for me, I think I would cosplay. Now, granted, I just started watching the show 2 days ago. um, Itachi, because I really like how he just got like this swag about him that I like.
yeah,
Uh,
Absolutely. Smooth
I think,
operator.
yeah,
yeah, I think I would just. Plus, he looked tall, so and I'm tall, so I think, or I would make like something around the Akatsuki robe because I like the whole clouds and the robe that they wear. That shit's fire as hell. I'll wear it outside, like right now. Um,
where are you
I,
going?
to the supermarket.
Y'all all your errands done. Nobody's gonna bother you.
Like, yeah, I think I would do something like an original Akatsuki member, to be honest. I think that would be pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, so cons, like Comic Cons, Katsucon, Blurred Con, like what's one con that you've always wanted to go to, but you never got a chance to go to?
Well, I'll say MegaCon. I technically went, but I had like a really bad situation where I had to leave work later than I wanted to. So by the time I got there, it was already pretty much over, and they had an after party. So I went to the after party. Didn't really turn out well, but I did meet two cool people at that time, and I was happy I was able to meet them. And I didn't go home until about 2 a.m. And I still had to work the next day, so that wasn't a very ideal situation. But I will definitely want to go to MegaCon and actually enjoy the full day or the daytime hours of that con because it just looks like so many different awesome people are there with their costumes. But I did get to see one that I wasn't expecting. I saw someone who dressed up as Parasite, um, the show Parasite, where he has the alien in his palm and they're working together to fight other parasites. And I just, fangirled completely, and I had a good time being able to see that at least.
I think I saw that show.
It's a good show.
I don't think I finished it,
Um,
but I think it's a good show.
uh, I've watched the show, but it had like an extremely long title, and yeah,
Okay.
it was like that. It's a show called That Time I Reached Max Level Killing Slimes or something like that. It's literally like an extremely long title, and
What in the long title?
Yeah, I said the same thing.
it's actually a pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. I liked it.
I would imagine, but like, what's with the title? Why is it that long?
There's a lot of titles that are like that where they're extremely long, and then you're like, do I want to watch this? And then we have that will watch it, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So a little shade, so a little shade, but it's okay.
Loki, good.
um, so when it comes to like wigs, would you prefer to get them pre-styled or would you like to style them yourself?
I would love, oh my gosh, for them to be pre-styled. I actually follow someone now, and I can't, I did not expect that question, so I don't have their name, their name, but um, she does these pre-styled wigs, and when I tell you, they look like if you brush up against them, it's gonna cut you. Like that's just how sharp and
Mm,
clean they look. They look just like the actual anime. And I just saw her do an Inuyasha one, and I was like screaming on the inside because I want it so bad. But they're expensive because they're based on it's custom, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive than you would just get off of Amazon or any other third party. But realistically, I have to style them myself, and we do use cosplayers are known to use sprays that will stick the hair in places that you need them to stick, especially if they're spiked on certain points. So just make sure you get the actual form or the style that you want, and then you just have to kind of like mold it as you go.
okay, okay.
Got to be. That's the spray. Got to be.
Got to be.
Glue, that glued spray.
Got to
Oh,
be.
Everybody
got to
knows
be.
that spray.
Yes, that one in a yellow can. I mean,
Yup, yellow can.
don't use the other one that
No, no.
old girl didn't
Good.
use right.
Listen, Gorilla Glue? Mm-mm.
Oh, don't do that. It won't move.
Why you thought that was a good idea? Like, what do you?
I'm still scarred for her. Like, oh
Yeah,
gosh.
like I get that you got flyways and you try to tame it, girl. Water, gel,
Chill.
Mm,
I would rather get flaky than to have to get it surgically removed.
bro. It was dude felt bad for her. She had to do it. He had to do it for her. Like no money. I was like, damn, my bad.
mm. So, what is the next convention that you're going to be going to?
It's actually tomorrow.
Oh,
Bet
nice.
line, beat line, bet line. I'm so sorry. I did not gather myself for these questions, but it's something along the lines bet line or beat line con. I'm actually taking my daughter, and I'm excited. I'm going to be Mrs. Pac Man because I've been working on video game characters lately, especially the vintage characters. I did do, what's her name? I did Crush. Was that Crush?
Crash.
Crash. I did Crash's sister. um, not too long ago, last month, and so I'm moving towards now Mrs. Pac-Man. It's gonna be basically what she would look like in that era because she came out in 1982. So I chose like a 1982 dress and a puffy fro, the rain boots. It's gonna be done up pretty good, pretty nicely. And then my daughter, she wants to be Sailor Moon, of course. So we're gonna let her enjoy that and have a good time, since the kids are free, by the way.
I'm just gonna
Okay,
say, like,
okay.
Sailor Moon was the first anime. People just didn't realize it.
It really was for a lot of us to getting into that fantasy line of just
Hmm.
otherworldly and superhero. Like she was pretty much the mother um,
Yeah,
of anime. So I wanted her to have something that was more kid like and just bubbly and innocent to start her off in her first anime. So she absolutely loves it. She adores it. So I want her to be able to explore more anime besides that.
do you
Okay.
want her to get into like anime like you, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter simply because I just have that type of parenting where you kind of let them build themselves. In a sense, you steer them into more positive things than things that are just kind of bad influences. But I don't mind her getting into it if she is into it. If she's like, no, I'm good, then that's great. We'll find another hobby or something that you really do enjoy. Because I know she likes dancing and singing and and swimming. So whatever actual hobby she wants to get into, I'll be 100% behind her on that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. And that's good. You always got to foster the creativity within your children.
Right.
Let them find their ways and let them try things, trial and error. Like
Yep.
my daughter, like she's all over the place. So I get it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Um, would you prefer homemade cosplays or commissioned cosplays?
I would say commission, simply because we, want to support small business owners, especially if it's stuff that we enjoy. Um, I mean, if you have those talents where you can create your own, absolutely create your own. We want to see it. But if you're more like me, that's just like need to buy, store buy everything. Then yeah, try to dive if you have the funds, of course. Try to dive more into the commission type. Um, cosplays and try to support those small business owners because if they are able to raise up their company and be able to widespread, then we'll see it more so in the stores at a more affordable rate for everyone, so everyone can do it and get into it. Then I would suggest doing that.
Okay, definitely. So this is what I want to know. Because I've been seeing it a lot on TikTok and Instagram and basically anywhere you can stick a reel. Um, the cosplayers that cosplay as characters but turn them into like thirst trap sexy characters. How do you
Mhm.
feel about
Oh,
those?
I see a lot of
I
those.
Yeah, I honestly will say that it does make me slightly uncomfortable because we when we go to these cons, we've always made it known to be, cosplay is not consent. We don't want you taking random photos or touching without asking, like hugs or, just any type of physical contact. I don't want to be seen as something to be played with or something to be objectified. So I don't necessarily support it. Um, the thirst traps, I'm not bashing anyone that does it. It's just more so like I would hope that a lot of us would have respect for ourselves so that way when we do go out in public and do, you know sometimes the characters just have skimpy clothes, but we're not necessarily asking anyone to do anything to us. We just want to embody the character because it was a good character. um, I just don't want that to be misrepresented into, yeah, I'm no longer a human being. Like, I still want to be treated like a human being. So I would hope that more people would not do the thirst traps. But I mean, if you do it because, it's trending and that's what you want to do, you want to trend, I get it. I'm not going to bash you, but me personally, I couldn't get into that myself.
Okay, all right. What about you, Pooh?
I don't like it. I'm just telling you the truth. Like I get it. Like people want more views and stuff like that, but like you ain't gotta be thirsty. Like for these or whatever. You gonna do it, just do it for the fun or whatever. Like you ain't gotta be the one with your boobs all out because kids watch anime. Kids watch these
Yes.
people dress up. These people or little kids go to Comic Con and things like that. Like put your titties away just because like anime is doing it doesn't mean like you can just be out here doing it. Like that is imaginary things. Like people make up those characters. You can't be out here like you the real deal. Like no, relax.
Yeah, I would say for the kids is very inappropriate, especially with TikTok. Like, there's a lot of children on TikTok in general, so that's why
Yeah,
I don't do
be
a whole lot of
respectful.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like for me, I don't necessarily agree with it. Like if it's what you want to do it, go right ahead.
Hmm.
No,
But
don't do it.
but I
There's
mean,
going to be
but
fan service on both ends. Honestly, there's
yeah,
not a way to really prevent it, but I would say um, showing people that you can cosplay and have respect for yourself and still have good audience and engagement. I feel like that would kind of change their minds a little bit about what's really important. Because would I rather someone be a simp and be simping over me the whole time because I'm thirst trapping, or would I rather have a friend that I can be like, hey, let's go play the game together or something? Like, I would rather have the friendship. I would rather have a legit fan base rather than someone just, putting me on a pedestal because I thirst trap. Like, I just, I don't prefer it.
What was you saying?
okay.
My bad.
So I was basically saying, like, listen, if you're gonna do your thirst traps, do it behind a paywall. Like, have people pay you to see
Right.
you in that certain cosplay. But like, if you're just doing it on TikTok and you following a trend, like, I don't want my 12-year-old daughter seeing that.
Right.
But you can't because she likes Nezuko and she types in the name Nezuko and your
Oh,
titties all out. Like, so, like, listen, do it behind the paywall. Don't do it on a public website where you know kids are going to search for this character just for a couple of views. Yeah, that's basically what I had to say about that.
I mean, even
Um,
think about it. Even if they do it for a payroll, it's gonna be like some way kids are gonna search it up and look it up. It's I don't know. It's I can
true.
see it going well, but I can also see it like kind of failing as well because the clout is already up there. So imagine them getting paid for it to like dress all sexy. Like they're gonna go all out, and kids gonna find it, just like kids find stuff about other people's parents and bring it to school, like it's a show and tell or something. Like
Yeah. It's
Wow,
unfortunate.
it happens.
definitely is. It definitely is. So, what
Mhm.
would you say is the most expensive cosplay you've ever bought or created?
Oh my god. Oh.
They're all pretty much within that range of high up. I don't think I've ever paid attention to the actual price other than like, okay, I might see one that's like around 100. So, and it depends on how many pieces I'd have to buy to even get to the complete um, cosplay itself. So I would say they're all equally around 100. So they're all expensive in my opinion.
Wait, so how do you go about getting like your costumes? Again, asking for a friend.
I normally do Amazon. I mean, you can find a lot of stuff, even just regular clothing on Amazon or Shein. I love Shein. You can find particular pieces that you might need because they do actually have a lot a kawaii or a anime line brands. So using those clothing stores just in general, you could find a lot of costumes and cosplays.
Oh, so if my said friend went on Amazon and typed in anime costumes, they would find it.
A lot, a lot of them.
Interesting, interesting, interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. Um, yeah, your said friend. Um,
Yes, my
okay.
friend. I will definitely pass that information along.
Definitely have to interview that said friend on this podcast
Oh,
also.
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot more clothing terms because when you're trying to search a particular type of clothing that the character's wearing that they may not have in a set, I've
oh,
learned new words just from that alone. And types of shoes because not all shoes are the same type of shoe. And whew, so you'll learn a lot about clothes.
Okay, okay. So, have you ever done a group cosplay, like where you dressed up with a group of friends, all as like the same character or so?
Nope. Nope. I
Would
oh.
don't
you?
have friends. We just gonna lay it out there. I don't have friends that I cosplay with. Um, I've had one best friend where I was Kagome, he was Inuyasha. That was like my first con and everything, so that was nice. And I had another instance where I was Inosuke, female Inosuke, and I had Rengoku. That that's just another instance, but for the most part, I really don't ever have anyone to really dress up with and go to these cons with. I just usually go on my own.
Okay, okay. Um, Honestly, Pooh, you should get your friend. We also get a costume, and we should all go to a con together. That's what I think.
Oh,
Yeah, call your friend.
Yep, call them up, hit their line.
got you. I got you.
Because, like, honestly, I've been to a con. I've been to two cons actually, but I didn't dress up. I've only been there like because both times, like, somebody had tickets and they couldn't go, so they just gave it to me. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I saw somebody dressed up as Ash from Pokemon. I saw somebody in like a full Gundam suit. I don't know what character it was, but it was one of the robots. Um, of course, I've seen some of the more skimpy outfits. Somebody dressed up as what's her name? Morgan from Street Fighter, I think. No, from Capcom. Morgan, the little bat girl, whatever she
Okay.
was. I've seen a lot of characters, and I've seen who I now know is Hinata, the older version.
Yeah.
But that brings me to my next question. Um, why the name Uchiha?
I feel like I resonate more with the Uchiha clan than any other clan that's on the show Naruto. I've lost people, very important people in my life, and I do feel like the pain that I've endured, going through grief and dealing with my emotions and learning how to cope, um, it just kind of reflects how the Uchiha clan is represented in the show. And I've had moments where I've pushed people away, just like Sasuke has pushed people away. Um, and I just feel like I'm one of those people that love hard, and also wanting to protect my own feelings. A lot of times I'll push people away. So that I just feel like the Uchiha clan just kind of represents how I actually dealt with things in my actual life. So so when people say Uchiha ill, like they just think they associate it with evil or being rebellious or whatever they want to call it. But I do feel like the Uchiha clan is more about real life situations and real life people who've dealt with grief. And I just, when I say, what's up, Uchiha clan, or, you know, telling people, oh, I'm so glad you're in the Uchiha clan, because I feel like they understand me a little bit more than most people. And I welcome that, and I just wish that I could build that community of people where we can all feel safe with one another and be ourselves, be nerds, be into anime, to have those discussions, those little debates at times, and just have a good time. So that's why I chose Uchiha, because it sounds good. It has a good connotation in my eyes, at least. And that's not a pun, no pun intended, but it just to me has a good connotation, and I feel like more people should look at it in a different perspective.
Okay, okay. So this is a question for everybody. So I think it's safe to say we all have nerd tendencies. And what does like do you think it's hard being a nerd in the black community?
Nope, not at all.
Not anymore. Back in the day it was, but not so much now, because it's
Yeah,
a worldwide thing that's acceptable. So
yeah. I
Hmm.
think I think now in the black community it's good to be a nerd because like we had a lot of people that will like know it all, and it's like black people know something too.
Yep.
Hey, we
True,
bookworms. Me,
true.
I am one. Just saying.
Yep.
I
Nerdy
like
and
being a
proud.
nerd. You know so much stuff, but you get to talk to people like, duh, like you should know this. Like how people talk to me, like how it's like, relax your tits. But nah, I get on the same energy. I like being a nerd.
Definitely, definitely. I feel like you said before, I feel like it's widely more accepted now because back when I was in middle school and I used to pull out the Pokemon cards and whatnot, they were like, "Oh my God, what are you doing? Stop playing that stuff."
Yeah, it's like
And then I found my little group of people. I'm like, "Oh, you play Pokemon too? Cool." And we started graduating from Pokemon to Yu-Gi-Oh, then from Yu-Gi-Oh to Magic, then it just
Oh,
we found more people. And then we started finding card shops. And I'm like, oh, so this is where everybody lives at now. Okay, cool.
people are like
Like,
so hypocritical with that because like they would you would see them in school like making fun of people like you, and then they'll go home and they'll watch Pokemon because y'all know y'all had to watch WD-18. Like, stop playing. Like, y'all know y'all home watching it.
I used
yeah.
to get picked on because I watched wrestling.
I used to get picked
Wrestling
on because
was
of what I
everything back then. Loved
was.
wrestling.
I used to get picked on because I used to watch wrestling. Like, you know it's fake, right? Yes, nigga, I know it's fake. Fuck out of here. Fuck what you talking about. I know it's fake. Like,
Yeah, right. You couldn't tell me nothing. It was fake. Because definitely me and my brother was jumping off of our bunk beds on mattresses. Like we was all in there. Like, stop playing.
definitely. So,
Big nerd.
if you can go to Japan and do a cosplay convention, would you?
Absolutely. I That's like my long life dream is to go to Japan in general. So to even do a con would just be perfect. That's like the cherry on top for me.
Okay, okay. Fun fact for those who do not know. I actually lived in Japan for 3 years. Absolutely loved it. And it's it's a magical place. That's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to say that. It's a very cool place to be. Like if you do go to Japan, go to vending machine alley, like just it's a place to be. There's a whole sector of the city strictly for anime. Like if you think you've seen anime in Chinatown where you live at now, like no, there's like a whole sector in the city strictly for that. So definitely go and visit. If you're a nerd or blurred anything, definitely go and visit Japan. Make
Don't
that one of
Japan,
your life goals. Huh?
don't Japan have their own Disney?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
they
yep.
do.
I'm definitely gonna go then.
Yeah,
I
they
gotta
they definitely do.
see.
It's funny that you said something about Disney because I seen something on YouTube that Japan has an abandoned theme park that people can go to. And it's like Disney, it is a Disney theme park, but it's in Japan somewhere. Or was it in China? It's one of the two. But
Yeah.
it's abandoned and all the rides are still there and it just looks creepy. Like it's abandoned.
Oh, it's just one of those things where people just like to see if it's real and then just
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
That might be in
So yeah.
China then, because I know the Disney in Japan is still up and running. So
Oh
Right.
yeah, so it might be in China. Yeah.
I
But
can see that for
it
China.
you said what?
I can see that for China having abandoned Disney somewhere.
Mm. So if someone told you that they hated your cosplay, how would you react?
I wouldn't.
Facts. Facts.
That's they have the okay. So the thing is about negative comments, they're entitled to their opinion, but they are not entitled to my reaction. I don't have to respond. I can literally just go swipe, delete, or
I've done that
just let
so
it
many
sit there.
times.
They just gonna argue with themselves. I don't have anything to really say because it just sounds like they don't like the character. Because sometimes I've had people say something negative about Sakura when I cosplayed as Sakura one time. Um, but at the end of the day, we all know she's just not a likable character all the time because of her tendencies and her personality wasn't the greatest. Um, but it just sounds like a personal problem, which I can't fix. I can't fix what their opinion is. So it is what it is at that point.
I wouldn't even try to fix it. Like that's okay.
No, not a requirement.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
Okay, okay. Yeah, for if I was cosplaying and somebody told me they didn't like it, eh, don't care.
Now you do have those people that say, because I get negative feedback on my TikTok. There's people that will constantly follow you on every video, like make comments, like you. Okay, at this point, you just want to be seen. So you just want to be seen,
Hmm.
heard. You want some clout or whatever. So I'm gonna do a video with their little comment up here and tell them f off in the nicest way.
Right.
Really, like it would be so disrespectful. I'm not even kidding. I get in trouble so much on my TikTok, like a whole bunch of community guidelines, but I don't care.
Okay, so these last few questions I have for you. Um, First one, how do you feel about characters that are not really cosplayed? Like example, like Ino from Naruto, uh, characters like that, basically.
I've cosplayed as Eno, and I've seen people cosplay Eno. Not as
Oh,
much, but she's been cosplayed before. Um, I would just say, side characters or characters that are not completely popular are still good characters. I would say give if you're a person like me that just want to do a lot as many characters as possible, do the side characters too because the side characters are actually lovable and they have features and traits that are enjoyable and brings the show as a whole. Because without those side characters, you kind of have like a oddly empty, feeling. You're like, where's all the people at? There's no village. Where's the village? So I wouldn't even care if someone just dressed up as a random villager in a different clan completely. Nobody knows who this person is. Do it because that
you know,
person is still contributing to the show that you enjoy.
yeah, by getting absolutely murdered so the character can get mad and make its
It is what it
transformation.
is.
It
Someone had
is what it is.
to.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Um,
villagers, and I still haven't even finished this anime. One Piece. Oh my god, bro.
Good luck.
It's so many, and then there's so many spin-offs. It's like, how do you finish this?
You
God,
don't.
I like it, but sheesh.
It's
mm,
either you grow up with it or you're kind of you're lost in the sauce for a long time. You'll finish by retirement. It's okay.
Bro,
Um,
I watch it here and there, but I do like the live action on Netflix though. It's pretty dope.
I like the Parasite live action on Netflix.
I gotta see that. I gotta see it.
Yeah, it's good.
okay, okay. So, what advice would you give to someone starting out cosplay?
Let me get these notes from my said friend.
I would say number one, um, put all of your cares away regarding what people will think. It's not about what they think, it's about what you think. So if you like and feel satisfied with what you got on, rock the hell out of it. That's number one. Um, Now, I would say be mindful of your hobby because it can be an expensive hobby if you're like me. I can only do about once or twice a month, so really think about where you're going to use it, when you're going to use it, how often would you wear it, that kind of thing. Just make those tough decisions when you are deciding this is going to be a regular activity. If it is going to be a regular activity, if not, great, you can use it at a con and then forget about it. That's up to you. Also, just remember to have boundaries. Definitely, cosplay is not consent. Please make sure you let people know, verbalize, hey, I don't, want a hug, or I don't want a picture, that kind of thing. If they're approaching you and making you uncomfortable, always make sure you have those boundaries set up. Um, Meet new people, meet as many people as you can, even if it's someone who's just selling cosplay at a con. Just make yourself known if that's something you're going to keep doing. Don't be afraid to network. That's my advice.
I think it is
Okay,
a lot of networking in anime.
definitely, definitely. Real quick, for those of you watching on Instagram, Instagram is only going to give you guys the first hour of this podcast. So go on over to YouTube. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen and catch us there. All right. Um, my next question. This is actually for your friend Pooh. This is actually for your friend.
Okay.
If said friend was to cosplay as a character, what would said friend cosplay? What is your friend's name? Let's start there. How about that?
Okay. It's not my friend, it's my sister. But I think she would do Naruto. That's her favorite anime.
Okay.
Okay, okay. There's a lot of group potential in that show. Look at me talking about the show like I did start watching it 2 days ago.
Right.
Like he knows all the characters. Like, okay, I made
Like,
two.
yup, sure do know all the characters.
Hey,
Yup.
not doubting you, bro.
Um, but definitely, um, for TikTok, actually, for TikTok, um, when did you notice that you were actually becoming like big on TikTok?
Ooh. I guess when I was like getting attention from people who actually have like in the millions of followers, the ones that have the little blue check next to their name coming into my lives, talking to me, wanting to hang out with me, that's when I felt like, whoa, okay, this is nice. But I didn't necessarily get it to my head or anything like that. It's just those people actually became good friends of mine. Mike O, specifically on TikTok. He talks to me every now and then. And I have another friend, John. They come in every now and then and talk to me. And it's just chill. It's just chill vibes. So I don't feel like I still am necessarily big, but the fact that I was able to get the attention of people who are considered big, and a lot of people just love their content. I feel like I personally have gotten to a point where I earn the respect of big people. Therefore, I feel big in that sense. But I still humble myself very, very much every single day that, I'm still just a regular cosplayer who likes to play video games and talk about anime. That's it.
Okay, okay. That's a that's a good answer. Um, I know I tell this story every time we get on the podcast, Pooh, but for those who don't know how I met Pooh, Pooh, this one over there, when I went into her live, she ignored me. Sure did. And I'm gonna tell this lie every single time. Every single time. She
Right,
ignored
a
me.
lie every single time.
She ignored me. I asked her to get on live if she wanted to be interviewed on my podcast. She said yeah, and then ghosted me for like 6 months. Go ahead, tell the story, Bill.
It was not. Okay, so this is live. Okay. Let me make sure. Hear me. Hear me. I was live. I don't know what I was doing. I was just being pooed. But anyways, and the comments was like going up. Like he said something, I responded to it, and then he asked me to be in this podcast, and I was like, yeah. Then he went to another video that I did and put a comment and said that I wanted to be on his podcast, and I responded in a whole video, an entire video, like you got the tag and everything, and I was like, yeah, I want to be on there. And so long later, that's when he replied. So I don't know why he keep telling the story, but he be telling lies. Lies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But now look at her. She's my co-host. Been best friends for like 18 years now. There you go.
It's like 18 years. What the heck?
But yeah.
We have another
So
podcast that we do too.
yes, we also do have another podcast that we do called Raw and Uncut. That is on every Sunday. That is Pooh's podcast. That is every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to hear what we got to say on that, if you think we bad here, sheesh,
I'm just
especially
let
with
y'all know.
Eric.
Like the name speaks for itself. Raw and uncut. Like, please just look it up. Just like our last episode was like dramatic. We talk about any and everything. Like we try to get a lot of things off our chest. We speak openly about anything. We don't really care who could say what they got to say. Like I be calling people out about stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. But we're gonna head to the final thought here. Um, when we do the final thought, uh, basically each of us says something that we learned from the episode, and that's how we wrap up the show. So I'm gonna start is with me. Uh, my final thought is just be you, be yourself. Don't be afraid to do something that you are not. Don't be afraid to do something that you believe in, basically. Pooh.
Okay. So my final thought is I'm just gonna let my friend know that if she wants to do anime, like she can go to like cosplay and order stuff off Amazon and make
Hold
sure
on
she
just a
look at the
second.
material. It's still my friend.
Right, 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 right. My final thought is definitely have lots of fun. Don't care what nobody think about your cosplay. Just do it. Just get out there. Yeah, and network, network, network. Always encourage the networking.
Definitely. So
Get out
I
there.
want to thank you for being on the show. Is there anything that you want to let the people know before we head out?
Nope.
Me? No, no,
No.
I'm good.
Well, um, real quick before I head out is next week, Friday, a young lady will be on our podcast. She is straight Brooklyn. Just know she is straight Brooklyn. She's outspoken. She gonna say what she gotta say. I met this young lady on Instagram actually, and Allie Mae, she's coming next week. So be on the lookout for the thumbnail, the post on Instagram and Facebook. Just be on the lookout for all that stuff. But once again, thank you again for being on the show. And we would love to have you back because you're very conversational. Very conversational.
Absolutely. Wow, I
Yeah,
had a
that,
great time. Thank you.
Thank you for being
and
here. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
okay, and we are going to end this stream, y'all. So stay tuned for next week. Be on the lookout for the posts, and everybody stay humble and have a good night.